My Hero Academia, Season 7, Episode 12 slash 150. Those who defend, those who violate. Gotta say, great episode, but that leaves us with a few pivotal questions going into next week. Let's talk about it. All right, guys, Brent here back with variants. Cover all things Marvel, DC, Lord of the Rings, anime, gaming, Star Wars, and more. This time, My Hero Academia. Friendly reminder: we have our 1,000 subscriber giveaway details dropping tomorrow for House of the Dragon. So be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to be eligible to enter. Take a look during for House of the Dragon live stream, or stay tuned for community posts if you hit that subscribe button. My and House of the Dragon just really isn't your jam. But look, let's get in the meat and potatoes of this episode because you've waited long enough. Look, this episode was fantastic for me start to finish. I know it's a lot of cliffhanger once more, considering we just had a 2 week layoff to try and figure out and assess their situation. They postponed because they didn't want to compete with the Olympics, which, hey, is what it is. I understand nationalism, and that's just how things can work at times. And for all intents and purposes, we learned that Bakugo is in fact dead. He is no longer with us. His spirit of anger and violence and determination to be a hero through those interesting means are someone who is no longer on their plane of existence. He is, for all intents and purposes, gone. And Genist is absolutely refusing to believe that Bakugo is no longer with us, and he's doing everything he can to try and repair the damage. Him and Edshot are now working together. Edshot is able to basically thread himself to the point where he is almost on a cellular slash atomic level to be able to work on some of the healing that is absolutely necessary. Think of it as the most intense open heart surgery ever, because Edshot was able to shrink himself, go in, see that Bakugo's heart was not only damaged and that Genus was able to repair that, the lungs were also still open and bleeding. There was other internal damages, and that for every intents and purposes, Bakugo was dead because he had internal bleeding. His heart was ripped open. There was blood everywhere. He needs to not only have everything be closed up so that he stops losing blood, but then he also has to be resuscitated, through the standard means of CPR. So we're going to have a rapid shock moment in order to get him to even be potentially back up and at him. But at this time, not a lot of hope for him. He's one of my top three heroes. So losing him in any capacity, I think, would be absolute travesty and something I would not be rooting for in any single way, shape, or form. And at this time, we're also kind of moving forward on a couple other battlefronts. We saw that the Camino battlefront, which had Shoto and Dabi hanging out there, where Shoto had the decisive one punch victory straight to the abdomen. Looks like things have taken a drastic turn. Whoever was holding on to Dabi did not do a very good job. Dabi is now back in Adam, and he literally was mocking Shoto. Was like, look, I literally took that punch on purpose. I just wanted to copy everything going on with your quirk so I could see what you were made of, because I'm going to make all this stuff my own and push things to an absolute new level. And he's even insulting Shoto and be like, look, I don't have the same daddy issues you do. I hate Endeavor. I'm nothing like him. And then to piggyback off of this, the villain whose quirk is straight up just hacking, which is a fantastic skill to have in any technological day and age. Imagine you had this quirk like back in the Stone Age. What a waste that would be. But in today's day and age of technology, he was someone who managed to make the most of the quirk that was going on. And he was someone who was able to assess the situation and realize, look, we have our boy Shigaraki trapped in a fortress. We need to do everything we can to get him out of there. If I can even crash this, I know Shigaraki is tough enough and physically durable enough that even if this whole fortress comes crashing down and everyone within it would perish under normal circumstances, he won't. And by releasing him, we'll be able to have him at his full capacity, so we can change the entire tide of that battlefront from his comfortable and leisurely moment wherever he's situated in his hacker estate. So being able to release Shigaraki would be absolutely the most prominent thing that the villains could do, because it would be able to unlock Decay, which everyone is forgetting. Shigaraki is doing all of this damage without Decay. He's managed to turn Mirko, Edshot, Genist, Bakugo, Lemillion, and that whole crew of Mirio and all them into a sideshow spectacle, all while his quirk of Decay is being held under wraps. I don't think enough props are being given to Shigaraki for what he's able to do at this moment in time. Fast forward to the other Battlefront where we had All for One, who, for what we thought intents and purposes, was absolutely scorched to cinders by Endeavor, just to find out that no, he had a vial of Ares blood, drained it, and has now reversed the aging process on himself, so he's able to breathe without the breathing apparatus that he normally uses, and is absolutely deadly for everyone now that he's able to move faster than he's ever used to. He's able to breathe better than he used to. He's able to process everything going on with still that insane level of high Q that he has. And now he's able to siphon other heroes. And he literally started doing that until Hawks showed up. So now we're going to have to figure out how we're going to battle plan for a villain whose intellect is far superior to everyone's on that battlefront, is now rapidly healing at the point that he's de-aging, and is also someone who's willing to basically pull out the absolute essentials for making sure his plan comes to fruition, because he is comfortable with no longer being of this world. He's comfortable with passing on. He believes in his mind that Shigaraki is so under his thumb that even if he passes slash perishes, he will be someone that, because he's put enough of himself in Shigaraki, his ideals will carry on, his beliefs will carry on, and that Shigaraki will do his bidding still to be able to basically reincarnate himself into this newer, younger, more dangerous body that he has been prepping for the last couple decades, because he saw the writing on the wall. He saw that him and All Might weren't exactly getting younger, but they were also being able to push things in a whole new direction where their bodies just weren't going to be able to keep up one day. And ultimately, a successor was necessary. Shigaraki being his has been something that is going to pay off, ideally in spades for him. But we also circle back to our main fight with our heroes, and we saw that Lemillion was kind of going through a crisis because they needed to do a 2-second reset after Shigaraki has gone through a great new evolution where now he is a walking hand mask, where he is super, super dangerous, extremely more durable. His strength is amplified and his speed is amplified as well. And he's still rapidly healing. His body is continuing to evolve as the battle progresses. So you don't want to be in a long, drawn out, throw him out, sucker punch fight kind of thing. And Lemillion needs to buy a couple seconds in order for a full reset of the fortress so that it doesn't ultimately crash. So he does what Lemillion does best, and he phases through the floor with his butt cheeks up in the air, yelling at Shigaraki, who then Shigaraki looks at Lemillion's butt and is then just apparently mesmerized for a couple seconds, like, huh? What the heck is this? Which, if you watch Naruto, would be akin to their sexy no jutsu moment where they got Kaguya caught on skates just staring at Naruto and be like, yo, this is something, which in all reality, it's a whole lot of nothing. But Lemillion bought it nearly enough time for the reset, and in that reset, we saw a green flash of our boy Deku, who has finally made it to the battlefield. We have our best hero and best villain all ready to duke it out inside the fortress next week. If you want to stay tuned to that, be sure to hit that lovely red subscribe button. We have a live stream of My Hero Academia each Saturday morning. So please join us for that. We'll talk about all things My Hero and that. If not, I'll see you tomorrow for House of the Dragons finale. See you then.